Hello and welcome to Triathlonology, a triathlon podcast by Animis Racing Team. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Jackie. We are a mum and son coaching team who have changed our lives through the sport of triathlon.
Our podcast aims to break down the mysteries of triathlon training and show you, the listener, how simple and flexible it can be so that it really does become part of your lifestyle and not just a hobby. Hello and welcome to another episode of Triathlonology, a podcast by Animis Racing Team. I'm Coach Oliver.
I'm Coach Jackie.
And together we're a mum and son coaching team based in North Lincolnshire and South Yorkshire. And in this podcast we share our anecdotes of our time in triathlon, the things that we have learned and picked up, and also our coaching tips in our indomitable Yorkshire style. So, very happy new year to all the readers, because this is the first podcast of 2026. Well, It's not the first podcast of 2026.
No, because we've had a couple of failures. But...
Yeah, we recorded one, but the microphone didn't record. So hopefully it is actually listening to what we're saying now, and we are going to produce something for you to listen to this week.
I know I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos of these world, I haven't told you this, but I found them really interesting. The World I think it's World Triathlon Series, and along with T100, and it's about last year's, because obviously 2025, people who did the T100 and what athletes were going to be, and there's a little programme about each one, like an episode.
What, professionals?
Yeah, it's right good.
Is it like that Tour de France thing?
No, not like that. It's not as like...
Is it like Formula One Drive to Survive?
No.
Oh.
But it does tell, they do talk to them and they do them in the house, and, you know, talk to them in the house and the training, and tell them about what the hopes are and ambitions for that season and how it all goes on. And
you didn't tell me this were a thing. I could watch this while I was training.
Well,
I've started spooks now, so it's going to have to wait.
Well, it'll have to wait because it's a long time, because lots of spooks.
I know.
But anyway, it is. But you know, sometimes you need to swap it up, Oliver. Don't forget, I listen to a lot of things when I'm blowing balloons up.
Yeah, I don't.
And
get
I
that
need to entertain myself. So that's what I've been entertaining myself with, and I found it very interesting. I like Jess Learmonth's one. I also like listening to Hayden Wild, especially how he came back from that horrific accident. What else have I listened to? I think I've listened to them all now. They're all really interesting. Some people that I've never even heard of. Some young woman from Switzerland whose dad coaches her. I found that quite interesting. But I'll tell you what, the main thing that you get from it is how dedicated they are. I know it's their job, but it is their life as well.
Well, we've said this recently before, haven't we? That when we were at our peaks, as it were, there weren't many days when we didn't get out of bed and something didn't hurt or ache, or we didn't have like muscle fatigue. But that's training, isn't it? Like, it's because we've been talking about Sheffield Wednesday now, knackered they must be. But every day when you're training for any kind of thing for a good level, you're probably going to get up and ache with fatigue, but that's normal. And then you just cope with it, don't you? So it's pretty similar for them, just on a grander scale.
And also I watched this last week, and I told you about Alex Yee and his marathons. Now that was excellent.
Okay, I told you where the wind's blowing with that.
But really, really interesting with listening to Alex and watching him train for, first off, London Marathon, and then how he did things differently for the Seville, was it, Oliver? Valencia one. But what a nice young man. A really, really nice young man.
He has got $1 million Nike contract written all over him for 2028 Olympics for running. I am a triathlete to my core, as you'll see with my T100 shirt on. But realistically, that money is there for him, and I've said this before, I don't think they can put the genie back in the bottle with him.
Well, he's only going to do triathlon this year.
Yeah, until someone makes him an offer he can't refuse.
To be fair,
like Hayden Wild steals a march on him because he's not had a year out of triathlon.
Well, yeah.
And then
talking of Hayden Wild, did you see that today? Because it's not what date is in New Zealand? But he came fourth in the time trial thing for professional cyclists in New Zealand.
Well, what was it? The New Zealand World Championships or something?
Something like that,
Okay.
whatever. But he
Okay.
came fourth.
No.
He's a maniac, him though.
No, it's just fearless.
Yeah, fearless, yeah.
Fearless, which is what you need to be really at top of sport, don't you? I mean, you
Yeah.
would say like the Brownlees were fearless in the way that they took on
Yeah.
every race that they did, and the
Yeah.
especially at Rio when they took
Yeah.
that hill on, they were not bothered if they blew up. They blew up. They were
Yeah.
going for gold.
But I will also point out that Alex Yee's coach, who seemed to be a very nice chap, is no blinking world-class triathlete, has not been a world-class triathlete, he's not been a world-class sportsman. Because I think what I'm trying to get at here is like all these people like in amateur ranks think you've got to be coached by someone who's good.
Or you
Who
can
how-
only be a coach if you're
if
good.
you're being good at triathlon, or it's absolute dross.
Yeah, at a professional level, that's just not a thing. I mean, you've got Joe Filio, Matt Dixon, Paolo Souza, the fellow at Loughborough who coached Cassandra Bogard, Jack Maitland who coached the Brownlees.
Also in from who coaches Chelsea Sidoro and I want to say Taylor Swift. I know it's
I know
not
you mean Taylor
Swift.
Nib.
Taylor Nib.
Iñaki, yes, who used to be the cycling coach. None of them have done anything.
No, and
None
the
of it-
greatest coach of all time.
Never done one.
Never done one. Never done one.
And because there are a couple, we said this before, but it's two different skill sets. Like you might be able to get yourself to go fast, but just repeating your sessions for other people will get them to a point where they will be reasonable. But you're never going to. But they are just becoming mini clones of you. And if it doesn't work for them, well, what do you go into your toolbox and look for? Because you don't know. You're coaching somebody. You're coaching yourself basically, but through
I
other
will
people.
also say that they might be coaching themselves, but they also do their sessions because they don't coach the session. They actually do the session, which is not coaching. How can you help someone if you're actually in the midst of that session? You can't. So that's one of the things that was reiterated to me.
Women are not, and like most of the time, you see women doing the same sessions.
Women are not small
because
men.
they've just got one repertoire of things that have worked for them. But women aren't small men.
No. And it really struck home for me while I was watching it. Watching both Alex Yee and all the triathletes in the world's. I'll find out what it was in a bit, Oliver, and we'll put
It's
in the
now
show.
called like the T100 World Series or whatever.
something
isn't it?
like that. But it's entertaining. It's an half an hour little watch.
Like a magazine programme.
Yes, that's a
Okay.
very good. That's a very good.
Is it a bit like
analogy.
Gazzetta Football Italia, but for
Yes,
triathlon?
yes.
For those who don't know, Gazzetta Football Italia was an iconic 1990s, early 2000s programme on Channel 4 where James Richardson would sit in a cafe in some square in a various Italian city, read the paper and tell you about what had gone on in Serie A that week and what was coming up, with Peter Brackley doing highlights of the games, which was the personal highlight of my childhood.
Not Trevor and Simon.
Who were they?
They were on that thing you used to watch on BBC One on Saturday morning.
I don't know who that is.
You do. Swing your pants.
I don't know.
You
I
do.
guess that's a Football Italia were better.
Yeah.
So what have we, other than you like watching telly that you don't tell me about, what else have we been up to?
Well, I got back into training, which I'm enjoying. It doesn't always go to plan, but that's life. We've got some new athletes who've come on board with us, and we're enjoying coaching them.
We're getting ready to go to we're getting ready to go to Portugal for camp because we've got people already booked on for that.
Yeah.
Although there is still spaces, we'll come to that later. We have been to Portugal ourselves, haven't we?
We have, and I was thinking tonight as I was driving up here and in the absolutely lashing down rain. I am so glad is it 3 weeks since we went?
3 weeks.
Because we've had the only 2.5 days in Portugal in the last month that has been sunny and fine, because they have had the most horrendous weather, the worst winter in 50 years. And last night was a horrendous storm. A lot of things have got washed away off the beach. And
What was the little lifeguard bench gone again?
yeah, and
Oh, dear.
also a load of, that path they rebuilt from Criteria to...
Villamora.
No, other way to...
Oh, to Valladolid.
Yeah, gone.
Oh dear.
So, and flooded and everything, so I'm glad.
Oh yeah, but there'll be a sign up there saying it's going to take 1,273 days to build another path.
Yeah.
And who's building it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went to Portugal for a recce and to film some social media content, which I've still editing to put together, but it'll be going out by the time you listen to this. You'll start seeing some of those videos. And it was relatively reasonable, wasn't it? Most of the time. We had a nice trip down to Stansted. No problems. We had the Ryanair flight was delayed, weren't it, by an hour, which meant that we got there a bit later. But it don't really matter. We got there, which is all that matters. Hotel questionable.
Right. If you are in the UK, you may have come across a programme called Four in a Bed, which is where people review bed and breakfast establishments.
Other people who run bed and
Yes,
breakfast establishments
so-
or glamping things or
Yes,
hotels
yes,
will review
yes.
other people's by staying there.
Yes. If I had been on that programme, that hotel would have scored 0.
Well, I would have paid something. It had a bed. It were clean.
I wouldn't have paid. I think I would have only have paid less than 50%,
Yeah, I think that'd have been fair.
which I think would have been fair.
So, it masquerades itself as a 4-star. It is not, reader. It is not a 4-star. When we arrived, the night manager had given our rooms, separate rooms, to one person whose name was Jack, because Mum had booked it as Jackie.
Saxon.
It didn't matter. They didn't look at surnames. She just went, Jack, Jackie, must be same person. And one man got 3 rooms.
No, 2.
No, he said he'd got 3 on his booking.
Oh, 3
the
on his
room that
booking.
he'd booked,
Yeah.
an hour 2.
Yep.
So, as you can imagine, that went down like a lead balloon.
I was not a happy person, but I did not show that. I was very calm.
He had, unsurprisingly, checked himself into the suite with the hot tub.
Questionable hot tub.
Well, we'll get to that. So, we dropped the bags off in my room and we went out for tea.
And that is another tale.
So, every time we go in January, up until this time, most of the restaurants have been open in an evening because they've just kept open. However, they must be at a point now in the holiday season where they make enough money that they can have January off, because none of them were open at night. Absolutely none of them.
They must have recovered from COVID sufficiently.
That they've got like enough to not have to worry about working in January and have that month off. So we didn't get to go to where we wanted to go, and we went to the place that described itself as having the best hamburger in the world.
Yes.
Best homemade hamburger in the world.
Yes, a bit like...
Buddy, when he goes to that the best cup of coffee in the world in Elf.
Yes.
And in a similar result, it was not the best hamburger you've ever had in your life or in the world
Most
ever.
certainly not.
It was disappointing. In fact, it wasn't as good as McDonald's
I think
or
you're doing
Five Guys.
I think you're doing McDonald's down there, Oliver, to be fair.
It certainly wasn't as good as Five Guys or an Urban Burger.
No, and I quite prefer Urban Burger to Five Guys, but no, absolutely not.
But it filled an hole. And so we went back to the hotel and managed to get you checked in, didn't we? Because they'd been and cleaned the room and sorted it out and everything.
And he weren't very happy though, were he? But tough titty.
No. So we went and had an inspection of what we could see on the balcony, because obviously that's where the hot tub was. Black dark, no light, which we'll come back to. So next morning, up for breakfast. I had prepared for the fact that the breakfast would be subpar, because as readers will remember with my trip to Zante, you always have to expect the breakfast to not be very good.
And I did not, seeing as it was a 4-star hotel, and I'd looked on booking.com and all that, wait for reviews, and they said breakfast was very good. So I thought, oh, I'll be all right. There'll be something.
I had taken my protein powder with me so that I could mix it into the inevitable disappointing yoghurt flavour that would be there,
Yeah.
and I would still be all right. But you didn't, did you? So you had
No, 'cause
mini hot dog sausages.
I did not.
Did you not?
No, I didn't. I didn't have nothing like that.
Did you have the disappointingly like underdone bacon?
No. You know I didn't.
I don't know. I can't remember what you had now.
I just had fruit and yoghurt. Anyway, I was a bit sceptical when I walked up to into the restaurant and thought, have I come to Travelodge? Because
It'd be better.
no, what I meant was because it was full of workmen.
Yeah, contractors.
And I'm thinking, workmen in a 4-star hotel? No. Anyway, it was.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll have a cup of coffee. So they got one of their machines. It was horrid. The worst coffee I've had in years and years and years. So that went down sink. And they got some Nescafe, so I had to stick to that with a bit of hot water in to make a black coffee. It were horrible. And it was very, very, the breakfast was very poor. So I just had some toast that took more than 5 minutes in that machine to toast. And some yoghurt and fruit. Hey ho, that's a lesson learnt.
Then we went out and did some filming and made our way towards the square in Catera where Due Dolce is.
Yes, and
which is our favourite cafe.
And our friends recognised us.
So we had 2 galaus and we shared a croissant stuffed with pistachio cream and Nutella.
And it was
Beautiful.
delicious.
It was very nice. So we had that in the sun, which was a novelty. And then we went and did some more filming before we had to go back to the room for lunch where we got some rotisserie chicken, didn't we?
We did. It was very nice.
And then I went and had a meeting with 2 Portuguese lawyers about some work that I'm going to do over there in my daytime role as a solicitor. And then we did some more filming. And we decided we were going to go to the Portuguese chicken shop for tea that me and Jess had been to when we went to in October.
And it is a very famous chicken shop.
It's so busy, they have one on the other side of the road and a cash machine outside both of them.
Which you can only pay cash.
Yeah, only
Kelsey
cash.
Freeze.
Yeah, but ordered an Uber. Uber driver said, "Oh, this is a very nice place." Drove past earlier, looking busy. Got there, shut. So drove us back.
He was mortified, driver.
Yeah, he couldn't believe it was shut because he'd driven past it earlier in the day and it were absolutely ramo.
He didn't even want to charge us.
No.
He felt right guilty.
But we got back and where did we go?
That new, we've seen it lots and lots
Franco's
of times. Hideaway.
Is it Franco's Hideaway? Something like that. Something Hideaway. We've walked past it loads of times and never thought anything about it, but we just thought, well, it's been open since 1999, must be reasonable. So we went in there and it were full.
It were full.
I suppose it's not a surprise, really. It were the thing that were open. And it was very nice. It's going on the list for places to eat out when we're on trips there and or on our training holiday.
Yeah, because it was really, really nice.
And a family-run restaurant.
And very reasonable.
Yeah, very reasonably priced. In fact, it was less expensive than the burger place the night before. And we had much more for it.
Yeah, we did. We did.
And then Thursday, yet another disappointing breakfast. And then more filming.
Yeah, but on Thursday we met up with Peter.
We did meet up with Peter where we did some B-roll footage. And then
he showed us some new routes.
New routes, including where we're going to do the brick session now, which is a better way, better place to do it, really. And from some of the route that we used, by the look of it, looks like it's on the Villamora time trial stage at the Volta Algarve.
Yeah.
But it is the 5th of February when we're recording this. The race is in like less than 2 weeks. And all that they've shown us of that stage is the topography and a little bit of a map. And me and Peter reckon it starts in the marina and finishes near the Burger King. But where it goes to, who knows? It looks like it goes near Peter's house to me.
Yeah.
And then it finishes on the nice whippy downhill bit where the bike lane is. It looks like that's the finish bit.
Yeah,
like
because that's quite a big
wide road.
Big wide road, yeah.
Who knows? So we probably will only find out when we watch it on the telly. But if you are coming on our training holiday, it will. Well, you won't be time trialing it because we're not lunatics, and it won't be closed roads when we go. But we will probably incorporate it into the Villamora loop, so you can say that you were ridden on the same course as João Almeida and Matthew van der Poel. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm really actually quite glad that Villamora has got this, because Vuelta ao Algarve's gone around Villamora and Catera for donkey's years, and it just happened to be I was having a meeting with some people involved in sport in that area last year, and I said, you know, you're missing out so much in not getting a start or a finish in Villamora, because of like the cyclists who come is completely different to, you know, what it was. Anyway, next year, got to start and finish. So I'm not saying I was important in making sure that Villamora got itself a start and finish in the Volta Algarve, but you know, I had that conversation. Maybe a coincidence. Maybe I'm a secret influencer. Who knows?
Maybe.
So after we'd met Peter, he went to the gym, didn't he? Because he's doing the Parma Half Marathon for his 60th birthday.
Yeah.
With his friends. So we then carried on doing some more filming. I then had my haircut and my beard trimmed by Welton at his new barbershop. If you follow me on Instagram, you can see Welton's barbershop. Follow him, because not only is he a very good barber, but he's a very kind and generous man.
He is, he's lovely.
And we had a good chat about him growing up in Recife in Brazil, and me understanding where that was because of the 2014 World Cup. I know. Everything's about football in my life.
Yeah.
And then once we'd filled, then we went back to doing his day jobs in the afternoon, didn't we?
Yeah, we had to do his day job.
But before we did that, we decided to go and get ourselves a McFlurry, because there were not else open really, but we worked really hard filming all them videos. So we got ourselves a little treat, and we thought we'd take this McFlurry in the hot tub.
Yes. Not actually in the hot tub.
Well, we ate it while we were sat
in
the hot tub, because it was daylight and it was impossible to see anything when it was dark because there were no light. So I got in the hot tub, and fortunately did not describe the condition of the hot tub to my mum before she got in it, because had I done that, she would not have got in it.
And I still don't want to know.
Well, it would not have scored very highly on the how clean was your room chart on Four in the Bed, or how good were the facilities. Wouldn't have scored very highly on that either. And our vista, dear reader, while we were looking out at sat in the hot tub eating our McFlurry, was the wall
that had got lots of cracks in,
and all different coloured shades of red paint because they hadn't painted it properly. But while we had a sea view from that room, you could not see the sea when you were sat in the hot tub. All you could see was the balcony wall and the little handrail that went around it.
Well, like when we went to residences.
Residences, where you were sat on top floor and you could have more or less a 360 view.
And it was fantastic, so we're going there again, definitely.
That is our aim.
That is our aim, and we're saving up.
So, and then it absolutely lashed it down that night. So we didn't go out for tea. We had a Glovo, which is like Deliveroo in Portugal.
But also another reason was...
We had a 3:45 get up.
We had to leave the hotel at 3:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
So, because we got an early flight back to Stansted.
So that I could go to court.
Not go to court.
Well, yeah, I'm not guilty. I am in my day job as solicitor, and I had to go for a client.
Oh.
So, yeah, we had an early flight home so I could get there. And, yeah, it was a partial success. Obviously, I can't say why.
But it was a
very good trip, worthwhile
good trip.
going, and we may go again in March.
Yeah, hopefully.
If we can get something else worked so we can do some more content, because it's a lot more fun, let me tell you, recording social media content where you're running and riding your bike outside
in shorts
and a t-shirt with a bit of a thermal layer on underneath because it's a bit windy in the wind, a bit cold in the wind chill. But when it's sunny and 14 degrees, then when it's miserable and like 2.
Yeah, like today.
So we'll probably go back and do some more of that if I can wangle a seminar while I'm there. And then we have been studiously plotting away for all things triathlon, haven't we?
Oh, we have. Definitely.
We have invested in some anti-wash lame ropes, which are controversial, much more controversial than they ought to really be.
Yeah, and what we were led to believe.
So having been told for 2 weeks that it would be no problem to have these anti-lane wash ropes at the leisure centre. Once we had bought them and got possession of them and brought them to the leisure centre, now it's a problem. And we have nowhere to store them at the moment. However, our local councillor is on the gig trying to resolve that for us as we speak. So who knows, by next week's podcast we might have a positive update, because like, literally for our Learn to Swim programme, that's game changing.
It is, because we this last programme that we had, did we have 12? 13? 13, and when everybody's swimming
in lanes 1 and 2, and in lane 2 they're whacking up and down because there's some good swimmers in there, there's a lot of wash, which if you're not confident and you're new at this, like, and you're trying to get your breath and work out your rhythm, actually that's far from ideal, is it?
No, it's not. And like we were having as we were talking about, obviously when we're walking up and down looking at people and helping them, we said what we really need is some anti-wash thing, and Oliver said, look on eBay.
I'll see whether we have got any, whether we could get any, because otherwise we'd have to stick it into a funding bid for like whatever. And then they were there for like 42 quid for 2 25-metre rope, and you can't say no at that rate. So I went and checked twice. Anyway, we are where we are with that, but we have got them, and we are very hopeful that when we run our next Learn to Swim Front Crawl for Triathlon course, which is free to enter for residents of Crowle, Eland, Luddington, Garthorpe, Amcott and Kidby and Althorpe for that matter. Anybody in the Isle of Axholme North, you can have 8 weeks of being taught to swim front crawl from triathlon, and a free entry into the Crowle Triathlon May event this year at absolutely zero cost to you.
Nope.
You also get a free pull buoy, any buoy, which is the best pull buoy you can possibly get.
Yeah.
It is about £195 worth of stuff for free.
Yeah.
Because we have been funded by SSE Thermal. Have given us a grant towards doing that. So if you live and you in those areas and you are listening to this, then this is the opportunity of a lifetime. These things will not come around again. No. And we have taught, 1,000 people to swim easy since 2016? Easy. And our latest cohort, all 13 of them who did the course can swim, and a good 60% of them are swimming with us now on a Monday night.
But we don't know about as Commando, Royal Marine, Ben.
No, we don't know whether Ben got in the Marines or not.
No, he is in Marines, but we don't know if. I'm sure his mum will let me know if she will let me know when he's passing out, because we'll send him a card.
We will, but we taught him to swim so he could get through that.
So he didn't feel struggle when he was doing his
swimming
basic
test.
Yeah.
So, yes, enter that. We've also got a bid in to the wind farm again, where we're hopeful we'll get some more costs met for the triathlon this year, which will literally be a game changer, because we keep saying let's make triathlon rate good again, and part of that is using the funding that is available to us to bring down the price, to make it the price that it was in 2012, 2013 when we first got into it. So that is our aim, and if we get this funding bid, and we also get whether we get the RWE one is irrelevant, but if we get the SSE one, then triathlon will be made right good again in Crowle, and we will be the centre for affordable triathlon.
Yeah, and that also leads into the fact that article that I sent you that I read in 24/7.
Although it was American.
I know it's American, but we're saying that there's a lot of emphasis now on getting people doing triathlon who are not typical what you would like to see. Like I've just been talking about the elites who are all like...
I mean, we weren't,
but...
We weren't typical triathlon people when we got into it in 2012. No. I mean, you couldn't ride a bike.
No, I couldn't swim either.
No. So these are the type of people we want to get into triathlon, because it was literally us more than a decade ago.
Yeah.
But the cost of entering a race was prohibitive.
Yeah.
So we are doing that to bring our price down, and that will mean that we can make triathlon rate good again, and it will be available for lots more people. We have also been in talks with Seven Lakes.
Yes, can we talk about this?
Well, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
So they are now under new ownership, and we are in preliminary discussions about hosting a 10-kilometre race and a 5-kilometre race in their country park this year.
Hopefully in June.
So Well, these are very early discussions. This will be another of our Make Triathlon Rate Good again, because this is a step on to hopefully next year having a half Ironman event in the same venue.
Yes, in the absolutely beautiful lakes.
And our fast and flat bike course. So, watch this space, because there will be further announcements, probably on the pod, but definitely on our social medias.
Because also they were going to do accommodation and everything, because you can stop at Seven Lakes. It's really nice, and it's got lots of everything that you could want.
By the time the triathlon comes around, it will have undergone a massive refurbishment. There will be a really nice restaurant there. There'll be a sports bar. You'll be able to sit on the veranda. It was nice already. It will be nicer. So yes, more details to come as and when that gets ironed out.
Fingers are crossed.
Yes.
I can't cross them fingers.
Well,
that's not very good.
Leading on to that, you've also got your operation lined up for your gold finger.
2 fingers.
2 gold fingers.
Yeah, because before Christmas, we might have said that I was supposed to be having my operation on the 21st of January. Now, dear readers, in Yorkshire, the first week of January, they had a bit of snow.
And a bit of ice.
2
days.
No, it were only 1.
No, it was 2 days.
2 days.
2 days it were. So Mum's operation got postponed because an unprecedented amount of people had surgery that required them to have the bones pinned back together in the hand. So in any event, they had to go and have that done. So good news, 4th of March, Mum is having her operation. And that's pretty much it for this week, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, sorry we've rambled on then. We are glad to be back. And until next time, we'll see thee.
Thank you for joining us today.
See you next time.
See you then.
Or as we say in Yorkshire,
see thee.